Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestling Guy podcast. I'm your host, David. I'm here with my guest, half of the EWF Tag Team Champions, Jorel Nelson. Hey, Jorel, how are you doing?
Thank you for having me.
Oh, no,
I do want to say, however, that I walked into the Wrestling Guy store for the very first time. Love the place. Get told to look up. I see the phenomenal ceiling.
Thank
but
you.
I don't get a Jorel, glad to have you here. I don't get a Jorel, we're happy to have you. I get a Jorel, your movie selection sucks.
Well, it's your fault. You told me.
Just because.
No, we started this hot debate. I disappointed you first.
Uh-huh.
Let me tell everybody the story. So what happened was.
What happened?
We started talking about movies. Oh, I'm happy you're here first and foremost.
Thank you, sir.
But we were talking about movies. And then I disappointed you because I said I hadn't seen Star Wars.
Don't say it again. No, he hasn't seen the original 3 Star Wars.
The original 3 Star Wars.
But he sure as hell seen 1, 2, 3.
No, I haven't seen 1, 2, and 3 either. I haven't seen...
They're not good, but you still got to see them.
I'm sorry.
So which ones have you seen?
I've seen... you're going to laugh. The Force Awakens.
Number 7.
And I've seen the prequel. Come on. The prequel. Come on, guys.
We
Help
know
us
what
out
it
here.
is.
The wrong person.
We know what it is.
Yeah, we know which one. What? Rogue One.
There we go. The
Yes,
best of them
there we
so
go.
far.
I've seen those two. And yeah, anything
But
else,
not number 8.
I have not
It's
seen.
in my opinion, number 8 is probably my favorite one of all time.
Well, you got to be happy my co-host isn't here today because he hated that one.
I'm sure I made a lot of people mad just now saying number 8 is the best.
I'm pretty sure. Well, there was another movie, right, that you mentioned that I said I haven't seen. Besides Star Wars.
Godfather.
The Godfather.
We both haven't seen that.
Both haven't seen The Godfather. But you haven't seen Halloween.
I haven't seen any Halloween movies.
That's horrible.
That's Michael Myers, right? The only
Yes.
Michael Myers I've ever seen is Austin Powers. So
I haven't seen Austin Powers. No way.
what is
I've
going
seen
on?
Shrek. No?
I mean, I do love me some Shrek. Eddie
All right.
Murphy.
Thank
And
you.
in the morning,
Donkey.
I'm making waffles.
See? I've seen a lot of Eddie Murphy movies.
There we go.
Okay.
That's a win.
I've
Coming
even
to
seen
America.
I've seen Coming to America. I've
Yes.
seen Bowfinger
I don't know if I remember that.
with Steve Martin.
Oh,
I've seen that one. I've even seen
I didn't even know
Norbit.
Eddie Murphy was in that.
Yeah, he plays the main guy they're chasing around, and then he plays the twin brother, like a goofy brother.
No, I don't even remember that.
Oh, I see Norbit.
I've seen it like once when I was a child. I'm not that old.
See, at least that's pretty bad.
And then I disappointed everyone when I first said I have never seen any of the Scream movies. The only Scream character I've ever seen is Scary Movie 1, 2, whichever one he's in.
You ready to get disappointed even more?
I don't know if I want to.
I've never seen Scary Movie 1 or 2. I've seen part 3. That's when the Wayans were out, right? Already, kind of became a little more less raunchy, right? Isn't
No,
that
the
when-
Wayans were in 1 and 2. Oh, you said number 3?
Yeah, 3,
Oh.
right?
Yeah, I think number 3 was... They may not have been... They were doing White Chicks probably
Yeah,
at the time.
I've seen White Chicks.
I've seen White Chicks. I
All
love
right,
me
see?
some White Chicks.
There we go.
Terry Crews.
Yes.
As a pro wrestler, though, I disappointed everyone when I said I have not seen a single Rocky movie.
I'm sure on Facebook Live right now, we just have like a bunch of thumbs down right now. How many
it's
thumbs
not-
down did we get right now on that one?
It's not on. It's 10? Get the hell out of here. Good God Almighty.
They just shut off. They probably shut it off when I said I haven't seen Star Wars, and they probably
We're disappointing everyone.
we
right
just
now.
disappointed every. Okay, let me say this: have you seen any of the superhero movies?
Like the Marvel movies?
Marvel or
I
DC?
love every single one of them.
Okay.
Obviously, DC movies are not as good.
Right.
We can all agree.
Yes.
But as the inner child in me, I will always watch them whenever they come out, no matter what. Even Suicide Squad, I'll rewatch that if I have to.
The only one I won't rewatch of the DC movie is Man of Steel.
That one to me felt like they were trying to do Dragon Ball Z with the fighting, and the acting was just all over the place. But Batman vs. Superman I liked, and everybody freaking hated. And I'm like a big time cusser, so if I cuss, I'm sorry. I don't know if it's allowed or not.
It's
I've
good.
stopped myself like 10 times already.
Probably when I said I hadn't seen
Did you see Justice League?
Yes, I did.
What'd you think?
I thought it was... Actually, I liked it the best out of the 3. I'll tell you why, though. I'm a big Superman guy. To me, there's only one Superman.
I mean,
Christopher
I'm
Reeve.
named after Superman's father.
See? Oh, yeah,
Sure
that's
up.
right. See?
Come on now.
There you go. Well, my favorite Superman is the 70s Superman, which was Christopher Reeve. And so that's why I hated Man of Steel, because Superman wouldn't be fighting in the streets that way. If you think about it, that's not Superman. And then Batman vs. Superman was pretty cool. They made him a little more...
I think people freaked out for no reason.
Yeah.
I think people are expecting Marvel type movies from DC, and like what Marvel's doing is ridiculous, and the quality of them, in my opinion, is like far beyond what anyone could have ever imagined once Iron Man 1 came out.
Yeah.
So you can't like hold DC. I don't hold DC to that standard because they're 10 years behind.
Yeah. But Justice League was pretty
No, I love
good.
Justice League.
I thought, and Superman was Superman.
Yeah.
If you really look at it, and I'm glad they didn't put him in the black suit.
Ben Affleck's in really good Batman.
Yeah, but I heard they're going to switch him up for the new Batman movie.
I can't fucking keep up.
I don't. There's been too many Batmans.
It is what it is, though. Iron Man will always be my favorite because of that boy RDJ, Robert Downey Jr.
You want me to upset you even more? Here we go. You get ready. Here come. Get ready, guys. We're gonna get more thumbs down. But I have yet to see any of the Iron Man movies. I've only seen the last Captain America.
So you're gonna ask me if I've ever seen any of the superhero movies, and you haven't seen any of them yourself?
I'm trying to get you back over with the 10 thumbs down.
Oh, that's not happening. As a pro wrestler, if I've never seen any of the Rocky movies, it's a wrap.
How have you not seen any of the Rocky movies?
Because when did they come out? The first one came out in the 70s?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't even a thought.
But they're always on Showtime. I mean, okay, wait a minute. I know you have DirecTV.
I don't.
Oh.
I am a Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime Video type of guy.
So no.
And obviously WWE Network.
Okay, well then I can forgive you on the Rockies because I was going to say it's always on basic cable. It's like on AMC every once a month.
They've popped up on
Marathon.
Netflix every now and then, and I always just like, I don't know, not today.
How about did you see No Holds Barred with Hulk Hogan and?
Definitely did not.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, it really is. No, how many thumbs down did we get now? So, all right, let me ask you then. As a kid growing up, then you got into wrestling? Were you just all into wrestling?
I wasn't always into it.
Okay.
Well, I got into it when I was like, I don't know the age. It was in between 5 and 7 years old.
Okay.
I can't tell you what year. I can't tell you what exact age. I was flipping channels, and I had like this small box TV in my room because there's no such thing as HD back then.
Right.
I'm 25 years old, born in '92, just to give people an age reference.
Yeah. I know all about the TVs they used to tune.
I'm just changing channels with my finger because I have no idea where the remote is. As a child, I'm not keeping up with no remote.
Right.
And I come across Monday Night Raw, and the first guy I see is Jeff Jarrett, and Deborah's in the ring with him, and Jeff Jarrett's belittling some fan,
right.
And he's like, "Are you gawking at my wife? Are you looking at Deborah? Huh? Blah blah blah." And the fan's just like, "I don't know what's going on." And Jeff Jarrett just takes the guitar and smashes it over dude's head.
I remember that.
And as a child, I was like, "Holy shit! This is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life." The very next week, I made it a point to try and watch Raw. My older brother used to watch it, so I asked him when it came on, and I saw The Rock. And once I saw The Rock, it was it. Because The Rock is, I'm not afraid to say, The Rock is my idol. If I could be like a fourth of what The Rock is now, I'd be happy. But The Rock is, I saw The Rock on television, and that was it. And I was hooked ever since.
My guy was Stone Cold Steve Austin. I was an Austin guy, so The Rock was like
Public enemy number one.
Yes, I always tell everybody, like, now I'm older, I appreciate a little more what The Rock, his comedy, his charisma, his in-ring work. I loved how he sold the stunner.
Yeah.
Even though a lot of people say, like, it was so exaggerated, but I'm like, come on.
No, dude.
It was
he made
The
it
Rock.
look great.
Yeah. Because The Rock was always had a little sarcasm to
Yeah.
him, so him selling the stunner that way just made it seem like, okay, that's just The Rock.
Yeah.
That's The Rock being The Rock. And so, but yeah, I hated The Rock. But I did have a crush on Deborah.
I don't know. I think at that age I wasn't really into Deborah that much. I will say when it came to Rock and Austin, when Austin was on Team WCW at Survivor Series 2001, I was 9 years old and I was sitting in front of the television on the pay-per-view channel, but I didn't pay for it. My parents didn't pay for it,
Right.
So I'm like watching through the static. And the only thing I remember from that night is literally because I'm 9 years old. This is all like completely real to me still.
Right.
And I just remember watching through the stat, couldn't see anything on the screen unless pyro went off. Then it would clear up for a second. I don't know why the pyro did it.
Right.
So when Kane came out, I saw Kane.
Right.
But when Rock and Austin were the last two to see if WWF would win or WCW would win, I was freaking out in my bedroom. Like, please, Rock, you gotta win. Don't let WCW win. Because I'd never watched WCW.
Right.
And I was like, I can't watch WCW. I don't want to lose wrestling. Rock, you gotta win. And when Rock finally won, I freaked out, ran around my house. Parents didn't know what was going on.
I think I called out of work that day. I was born in 1977. For those that are asking the age difference. Shoot. But yeah, I think I called out of work for that pay-per-view because I was so
I would have. If it was today, I totally would have. That thing is... Well, if it was today, I'd have the network, so I'd be able to actually watch it.
You'd be for $9.99.
Exactly. For $9.99, everybody, get the WWE network. WrestleMania's coming up. You're welcome, Vince.
Speaking of Kane...
Yes.
I did not know you had a dark match.
I did.
With Kane. So first and foremost, you see Kane on TV as a kid.
Sure do.
And then you're going to work a dark match with him. Was it a tryout or?
No, it was, so the night before was my Braun Strowman match.
Right.
So I go from Braun Strowman on Monday Night Raw, and then before SmackDown, I'm just sitting around in the arena, and John Laurinaitis walks up to me and points at me. He's like, I want you to work Kane tonight. And that's my terrible John Laurinaitis impression. And he's like, and I was like, okay. And so I go over and get introduced to Kane and things like that, and we're talking about the match. And what we had planned for the match was a lot more extravagant than it ended up being.
Right.
So we had like a 5-minute match planned out. But by the time the match came around to actually happening, like right before I go out, they cut most of it. They cut like 75% of it. They said, all right, you're gonna go out there, cut a promo on the crowd, get some heat behind you. I feel like it did pretty well. I had some confidence out there. Live promos I've always been, in my opinion, really good at. If you put me in front of a crowd with a mic, I can usually carry myself pretty well.
Did you tell them you hadn't seen Rocky?
I did not tell them that.
You would have got an eat then for sure.
But I was in California, so I crapped on the Rams and said I was a Seahawks fan, and that kind of worked.
Yeah.
Even though we were in, where were we? We were in...
This was after Braun. I think
it was
Braun,
Anaheim on Raw,
yeah.
And then...
I think it was Ontario.
Yeah, it was Ontario. So they kind of got it, but Ontario fans, I don't know if they're actually Rams fans or something. It is what it is. But I go out there, Kane's music interrupts me, pyro and everything. I start talking crap to him in the ring without the mic. Rush him, grabs me by the neck. The bell's rung already. I'm like, ah! And I'm ready to jump so high. I'm like, Kane, I've seen this happen my entire life. Let's go. And Kane, being the nice guy that he is, protects me and doesn't let me jump as high. But choke slams me, 1, 2, 3. Pyro goes off. Crap gets in my face. Didn't know that was going to happen.
Right.
But it was an awesome moment. And when I texted all my best friends from back home who watched wrestling with me growing up,
right.
when I told them I was wrestling Kane that night, they all freaked out because they grew up watching Kane as well. So it was like a cool full circle moment for me, like watching a guy that I watched my entire life to wrestle him, because Braun was still relatively new back then.
Yeah.
So wrestling Kane was just that was just a cool moment, you know.
How do you keep yourself from marking out? I would have been marking out. I mean, I'm sure you have to be professional, but
it's weird because anytime I'm around a wrestling ring or at a venue for a show, regardless if it's big or small, I know I'm there as a professional. And growing up, I've always carried myself in a professional way. I was just taught that way. And so the thought of wrestling Kane after it and being able to tell my friends yeah, I wrestled Kane, that's really cool to me. But in the moment, I'm there to do my job because I'm also in front of WWE eyes, and long-term wise, that's where I want to be. So I can't be there freaking out or marking out or acting like a fool, you know. So what was cool was after the match, I'm in catering, and Kane walks up and tells me I did a good job, and then we had a 5-minute conversation. He was super nice. He's one of the I've always read stuff that Kane is always one of the nicest guys in the locker room. He's super nice because he didn't have to talk to me for that 5 minutes, and it was just small talk where I'm from, what I'm doing, and stuff like that. But a lot of people don't know I had that dark match, so that whole experience was really freaking awesome.
Yeah. Now then, you the night before you wrestled Braun Strowman, and You mentioned something which I got it a little mixed up because there were so many people at the time wrestling Braun. Every week you were the one that got interviewed backstage.